各位现场所有的贵宾朋友们，大家午安！提醒一下，待会的议程再过2分钟之后会正式开始，也请大家稍微耐心等待一下下，谢谢。各位现场所有的贵宾朋友们，大家早安！欢迎莅临2025台湾国际水论坛水利创新科技与产业发展。非常荣幸，今天有邀请到非常多专家以及贵宾们齐聚一堂。那相信大家都引颈期盼今天的活动。首先要来邀请今天论坛主持人为我们进行。
Welcome everyone. Now please welcome from the
to 2025 Taiwan International Water Forum on the theme of water innovation, technology, and industry presentation. It's a great honor to have so many people here. And now let's welcome the moderator of this forum to give the opening remark. Please welcome Chairman Huang Zhibing from the Taiwan Water Industry Development Association.
Our distinguished speaker and guest in this section. The title of this section is the Innovation, Technology, and Industry Development for Hydraulics. Actually, this session will be coordinated by Zhang Guangzhi, Director, and me. I will introduce me first. My name is Qibing Huang, and I am the professor from the National Yangming Jiaotong University, and also the president of Water Affairs Organization. And because for the upper section, the schedule is for the Zhang Guangzhi 分署长, but he is in traffic. But I believe he will arrive very soon. So I chair the first, and on behalf of him, our first speaker, very special. He's from the Lithuania. Director Richard Valenkovskas. Let me see you. Richard is from the Lithuania Hydrometeorological Service. And he will bring a presentation with title of Turning the Tide, Innovation Water Management and Climate Adaptation in Lithuania. Let's welcome his presentation. Richard, please.
Good morning. Hello, everyone. It's really my big pleasure to be here. And I say pleasure, I mean it, because I really love the country so far. It's my first time in Taiwan, and I really enjoy the hospitality, the people around. Actually, I also managed to climb the elephant trail the other day. And even though the steps are quite steep, but I still managed to make it to the top and enjoy the beautiful view of Taipei. So really, so far, only the best things I can say about your country and your people. So really happy that you invited me. And to present Lithuanian experience in managing water resources. Myself, I represent the National Meteorological and Hydrology Office in Lithuania. This is a public institution in our country. We are the only ones who provide the meteorological service for the society and for the public purposes. And also we deal with hydrology. So we provide forecasts, we do the monitoring and other activities, and it will be my pleasure to introduce you on the things we're doing in Lithuania. But first, a few things about our country. I'm not sure how much you are aware about Lithuania, so a few facts. Actually, Lithuania used to be the largest country in Europe, but it was a long time ago, in the Middle Ages. Of course, now our country is quite small, still twice as large as Taiwan, but compared to other countries, we are not as big. We also used to have the strongest man in the world. There are some competitions, you know, where people compete who will be the strongest, who will pull the truck or pull over like heavy stuff and so on. So we are like also strong people in Lithuania. And also we are the country that, one of the rare countries in the world that loves basketball. Actually, I see that in Taiwan it's also quite popular, so it's a big surprise for me. Of course, it's not as popular as baseball, I assume, but still, this is another thing that links two of our nations. Now to the professional stuff. So water resources, first of all. So in Lithuania we have quite diverse water resources. As you may see, thousands of rivers, thousands of lakes, also a quite unique Curonian lagoon, which you can see in the picture here. So from this is the lagoon, and from this side, the Baltic Sea that we have like 99 kilometers of the seashore with the Baltic Sea. When we go underneath and we talk about the underground water, we are also a lucky country because we have abundance of good groundwater, which is used daily in our country. So as you may see, only less than 1/5 is used for the daily consumption, and we still have a lot of resources underneath. Now, talking about the precipitation, so you may see that the annual numbers are not that impressive as compared to your country, but still, of course, everything should be understood in the context, and I would say that it's quite enough of precipitation. in Lithuania. Majority of precipitation comes in the summer season, starting April till late October. And we also see a trend that we have more and more intense events, intense storms, that brings, of course, some challenges for us to deal. And also you can see in the map that the western part of Lithuania receives traditionally a bit more of rain due to being to maritime coast and the westerly airflows that are coming to Lithuania from the Western Europe. Within our organization, within the National Hydrometeorological Office, we have a quite extensive hydrological network. We have 101 water gauge station, so just like you have this building 101, Taipei 101, so we have 101 water gauge stations, and you can see that it covers all of the Lithuania, all of the main rivers and some of the lakes. The equipment we are using, so for example, of course we are doing the daily measurement, like using the hydrometric measurement or sound systems to measure the water flow. Also, we have in place some video surveillance systems, for example, to monitor the changing environment. For example, in this case of one of the rivers, as you can see, it's quite diverse. We have quite distinct 4 seasons in Lithuania. They used to be even more distinct, but still you can see that in the winter we have also ice. And for example, when we talk about the usage of AI technologies, so actually we're developing a system which could recognize the ice formation, and in this case we would not need an intervention by humans. So we are in the middle of developing that, and hopefully we will have it in place quite soon. And also, we are not standing in one place, so always look how to improve our system. So, for example, to install new remote sensors, especially in sensitive areas. Also, we are planning to start to use the drones also to monitor the rivers and the lakes, and yeah, by the end of the next year we will be ready to launch the system already. Now let's switch a bit to the climate change. So it will not be news to you that the climate change is real. As you may see, it's quite dramatic in Lithuania as well. So in the last 60 years, we have more than 2.3 degrees of Celsius. It goes up. Actually, I checked, like a few hundred years ago, we had the temperatures, annual temperatures, reaching only like 1 or 2 degrees. So it means that the growth is really rapid, and the projections to the year for the next century, it might be not 2.3, but even more than 5 degrees of Celsius. So of course it will bring a lot of headache and challenges to us. And I would say that especially recently the changes are really quite visible. As you can see, in the last decade, 5 years, we had like a record years in respect to the heat, to the temperature in Lithuania. So this is like a trend which we have to see and really to adapt to it. And also just a few numbers about the extreme events. So, as you may see, 18 extreme events last year, meteorological events, and 12 events of hydrological nature. And also the trend is that we are having more and more these kind of events, by 1/3 in the last 30 years. So it's another proof that things are changing quite fast. In respect to floods, so actually the number of very powerful flooding is getting down, but the number of the floods in general is increasing. So while we still don't have like very dramatic floods in Lithuania, but still from time to time, when storms come, we do have some events that we have to deal, but also seeing the examples in other European countries a few years ago, in Germany and Spain. So of course we understand that there is a high risk of floods that will really hit us hard, and it's another thing to have in mind. And when we speak about the dynamics of floods in Lithuania, of course several aspects play a role here. Of course the climate change, as I already mentioned, of course the human activities, urbanization, and it could bring really a lot of problems if the planning is not sufficient or the maintenance is really poorly kept. Of course, the water management systems may not be ready to deal with the increasing amount of precipitation. Again, human activity, deforestation, which is quite big in Lithuania at the moment, also the pollution and the compaction of water bodies. But hopefully the monitoring and forecasting systems, we're always constantly developing them. In respect to floods, we're also part of European network for emergency alerts. So there is like a quite sophisticated system for that, and we are covered in case floods are going to appear. Talking more broadly about challenges on water resource management, so in Lithuania, agriculture is still quite an important part of our economy, and of course this industry brings negative things with it, like using pollutants like nitrogen, phosphorus, pesticides. Again, the climate change impacts, so sometimes we have no water, shortage of water. I mean, we have some like drought periods, and they are hitting us more frequently, or vice versa, we have more floods or rising temperatures. And other challenges are hydromorphological alterations and also unequal wastewater treatment coverage in smaller settlement. And when we deal with surface wastewater, so we have several objectives. Of course, the first and the most important one is the lives and health of our people. But also the objective is to have as low financial losses as possible, to protect the resources for ourselves and for the future generations, to improve the quality of life in urban areas, and of course to consider all of the perspectives, including physical, chemical, biological, and other. And when we talk about the measures to reduce the impact of urbanization, so we have two types of measures, non-structural and structural ones. So both of these types are very important, and definitely they must be used in combination. And in case of non-structural measures, of course, it starts with legislation, with the legal framework, then the system for the development projects, that these projects should always include the environmental impact assessment, different projects bring different challenges, so coordination must also be done in implementing these projects. Of course, control of the pollution, control of stormwater runoff from private properties, and flood prevention. And structural measures, so mainly two types: runoff containment and stopping measures, and infiltration measures. So these are like physical infrastructure that helps to deal with any negative things that happen to hydrological failure, let's say. And one of the examples, Vilnius is the capital city of Lithuania, so the municipality adopted a greening and greenery maintenance standard quite recently. So a document, you know, to provide suggestions on how to deal with various development things. So there are several principles. I will only name a few of them, starting with preserving trees. So the idea is that trees should really be kept in place, or at least planted in another location if it's not possible to preserve their existence. Then the Green City Corridor. The idea is that everywhere, anywhere a person goes, he's surrounded by greenery, either going on foot, cycling, or even going by car. Another thing is that as many spaces as possible should be green. So again, it could help to reduce the negative impacts. Biodiversity is another crucial thing, that it should not be only the same type of plants, but it should be really like a universe: bushes, trees, grass, depending again on the needs of the specific location. And finally, the sponge cities. So again, the capacity of city, of the infrastructure to deal with precipitation, with heavy precipitation, and for this various measures can be taken. So here just a few examples on like practical guidelines on what the municipality itself implements and encourages also the private sector to do in place. So for example, talking about the green spaces, optimal area for the new green spaces should be 16 square meters. And also the recommended width should be at least 1.5 meters. Also the layer of crushed stone have some specific parameters that you can see. Again, some simple solutions, but still not existing in all of the potential places, such as like rainwater collection through greenery and diversion into stormwater system, also known as dry infiltration basin, or rainwater collection within greenery, so like rain gardens that helps to deal with that. Also rainwater drainage through a ditch, which helps to absorb the water. And another aspect which is really important is, of course, to assess the type of plants and their tolerance to waterlogging. So there are 3 types distinguished in the standard: short-term waterlogging, so up to 3 hours, short-term to long-term, up to 3 days, or plants who can permanently be flooded and have no negative consequences to them, so especially during spring floods or heavy storms. And so we see that there are a lot of challenges, and of course the government has a plan in place. In this case, I will go through the adaptation measures. So there are several tools or directions set out starting with flood risk reduction. So of course constructing the protective levees, reinforcing riverbanks, upgrading our hydrologic structures. Another thing is coastal resilience. So as I mentioned, we had this Coronian lagoon, and the spit itself is really it gets a lot of pressure from the nature and environment, and the idea is to strengthen the coast. Another idea and plan is to acquire a multifunctional ship which could deal with any crisis or emergency situation. Another thing is, of course, the development and extension of meteorological and hydrological monitoring network, both the monitoring and the forecasting, and developing the early warning system in Lithuania. And finally, public awareness and capacity building. So, of course, the understanding of society, the situation we are at the moment, what should be done, what the government is doing, what every person can do, it's really crucial and important. And I can see that in Lithuania, you can see a survey of last year that people do recognize that we're living in the changing times, and there's a need to adapt to climate change. But another thing says that only 1 out of 2 persons say that believe that they will have to adapt themselves to the changing realities, and I believe that well, this number should really be much higher for the people to understand that their own personal life and other activities are already affected by the changes in the current environment. And also, there is also a perception that since the changes are might be quite dramatic, that there might even be a need in the near or the longer future to change the location of where they are living, maybe even moving to another region or country. So actually, since both today and in the near future, the environment, the nature, the weather will be quite convenient to people. So I think that actually more people from the south might move to Lithuania because we are really located in a quite favorable location. And again, it could bring another challenge of having so many people in one place in the future. So, but again, these are the future challenges, and we'll try to do the best we can to deal with them. So that's it from my side about the situation in Lithuania. Hopefully you enjoyed, and if you have any questions, so I will be eager to answer them later in the discussion session. Thank you.
再次的掌声，谢谢局长精彩的分享。Good, thank you so much. 那么接下来我们邀请到 Google 的这个 Ankraj Grandel 来负责领导 Google 资料中心永续发展团队内的这个水资源。 好的，我们再一次的掌声，谢谢 Crandall 经理 ，Thank you Miss Crandall。那么紧接着，我们欢迎义永科技蔡明哲执行长来到现场。义永科技专注于物联网以及智慧科技，提供智慧浇灌、设施农业、养殖环控以及环境感测等等解决方案，有效节能、省工，并且提升效率。今天蔡执行长将与我们分享智慧水资源管理与检测系统。Next, let's welcome Cai Mingzhe, founder of Eon Mextry Inc. The company specializes in IoT solution for smart irrigation and environmental control, focus on efficiency and resource conservation. Today, CEO Cai will share his topic, smart water resource management and monitoring system. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm very pleased to be here, and thanks to CRDI inviting us so that we have the opportunity to share what we have been doing in the past 10 years. My name is Joseph Cai. Our company is Eon Matrix, Yiyong Keji. So basically, we are an IoT company. We create our own cloud platforms for connected devices. Our main focus is to reduce water or energy consumption, and most importantly, recently we need to reduce the labor cost. We're starting this company focusing on the smart home market in the United States. As we all know, like houses in the United States, they usually they are yards and they have the irrigation system installed. Like around 50% of their the water are applied to the yards instead of being used to people. And also, the water price is not as cheap as in Taiwan. So hello? Okay. So saving water is actually a high priority. So at that time, the United States Environmental Protection Agency, they are promoting a water-saving label called WaterSense. Basically, it applied the weather data, and we will use the weather data to optimize the watering schedule to save waters. So, so in the beginning, we start our business in the smart irrigation markets, and later on, we expand our business into the smart agriculture segment. As you know, in Taiwan, the agriculture population, we have a serious aging issue here, and then also lack of the agriculture laborers. So it's pretty important that we can have certain automation for the agriculture applications. So we have promoted our product to over 50 countries in the world. We are promoting our own brand in the United States and European countries. We have partners in Australia, Israel, Malaysia, and other countries. So let's look at the issues we are facing right now. This is the scenario in Taiwan. We actually have a lot of rainfall each year, but only less than 20% are retained. So 60% of our water goes into the sea, and around 20% of the water get evaporated. So we have less than 20% of the rainfall water for use in domestic segment, like around 20%, for agriculture, 70%, and industrial use for 10%. So you can see that most of the water are in the agricultural segment. And when we have the drought condition in Taiwan, our industrial segment is fighting for water, and usually we will sacrifice the agricultural segment. So we do a very simple calculation so to let you understand the issue here. If we can save 15% of the water use in agriculture, we can double the water use for industrial segment. First, the logic is quite simple. We use the data that we can get from sensors or from like weather data from the cloud. And then we do some calculation. We have some kind of algorithm for decision making, and then we optimize the watering schedule to save water. So in order to receive the sensor data, we develop, we call it a data hub. And also, in order to control mainly the solenoid valves, we have a controller which is the brain of this solution. So our solution is mainly comprised of the controller, smart controller, and the data hub. So we can receive data, we can combine the data to our algorithm, and then we can execute the automation through the controller. So the controller itself is a smart irrigation controller. It can turn on and off the solenoid valve, but it can also be integrated into an electrical cabinet for with relays and to control different equipment. So we can do automation for like greenhouses. The data hub can be connected to different sensors like soil or water sensors. We mainly receive the weather data from our cloud. So in Taiwan, we actually integrated the data from the Central Weather Bureau, which is open data. So with this solution, we can use the data to achieve, we call it precision irrigation. There are two ways to achieve that. The first one is we use the weather data to calculate that we call it evapotranspiration, which means the amount of water that get evaporated or get absorbed by the plants. So we have these fundamental parameters we call ET. And then combined with the ET data and combined with the rainfall data from the weather station, and also because we apply the optimal watering schedule, so we know how much water is applied to this location. So combine all this information, we can calculate an optimized watering schedule. So if you consider the soil as a sponge, it can absorb water to a certain level. It depends on what type of the soil. So the water goes into the sponge coming from rainfall and your irrigation system. And the water going out of this sponge is through evaporation and transpiration. So we can enter all these parameters like what type of soils you have, what is the root depth of your plant, and then we can combine the environmental data to monitor the soil water level. So we actually monitor the soil water level on the cloud, so we know when we should apply water and how much. And this algorithm is a standard we call Watershed from the United States Environmental Protection Agency. Our company is a partner with them, and then our product is certified with Watershed label. So some of the application for the smart irrigation, including like agriculture, landscaping, golf courses, smart buildings. So here are some of our real cases. So you can see that we can help our farmers to reduce their labor cost, and then so they don't need to be stuck in the farm every day. And we also have customers from like corporate campus. There are many irrigation areas around the campus. For this example, they have 10 controllers. With each controller has like 10 irrigation areas. So simply goes up to 100 irrigation areas in this campus. So it's very difficult for people to manage the irrigation system at this scale. So it's very important to have a certain way to monitor the health of your irrigation system. So in this case, we install a flow sensor. So every time you apply water on a certain area, we will monitor the flow rate for each zone. So we can tell you what's going on, of if there is any leakage in your irrigation system. Of course, and this is an application in golf courses. And a green wall, the issue for the green wall is because at the construction site sometimes your electricity is not available, or somebody accidentally unplugged the power source to the controller, or sometimes people accidentally turn off the water source. So the result is you won't know this is happening, and then you won't see the issue until you see the plants are dying. And they need to replace the greenhouses. It's a big loss. So we can use the flow sensor to monitor the situation. We can inform you before the damage happened. And we also apply this technology in like smart buildings. And so later on, because in Taiwan we don't have many houses with yards, so our main customer here in Taiwan are like farmers, landscaping company. So for farmers, we promote another precision irrigation solution that we call it with precision irrigation based on the solar energy. So imagine a human on a beach, you get exposed to the sun, and then your water get evaporated from your skin. You will get thirsty, and you will want to drink water. Similar to plants, they need water. They need water like proportionally to the solar energy that they receive. So in this case, our data is the solar energy. We use a solar sensor. The benefit for this solution is you don't need as many data from the complete weather station. You just need one sensor. So it's easier to maintain, and you can install the solar sensor on site, so it's more accurate. And we use this accumulated solar energy to optimize for your watering schedule. So we can look at this picture for more, to get a better understanding. The yellow line is the solar radiation within 24 hours. As you can see that we get most of the energy at noon. The red line is like the accumulated solar energy. For the user, you can specify that at a certain energy level we need to apply the water, and for how long. So you can see the green line. Every time you reach the solar energy that you specified, the system will run the irrigation automatically for a certain period of time. So you can see the blue line at the bottom means every time I reach the energy level, I will run. We will start for an irrigation zone. So as you can see, we have more watering event during the noontime. And then you can imagine that it is not a regular pattern. It's different from the, like we call it timers. With timers, you can only specify like a very limited watering schedule. But with this one, it is totally triggered from the sensor. So there is no like human judgment involved. Everything is based on the sensor data. So because of that, you can reduce the management workers, and also you can prevent from like human judgment error. So in this case, you can see that for irrigation based on the human judgment, you see the root development is quite different because with the precision irrigation on the right-hand side, you can see the root development seems much better. So in this case, this is a case like a greenhouse, 25-acre greenhouse in Malaysia. They use, I think right now it's almost 50 systems are being installed in their greenhouses, and they can increase the production by 20% simply because there is no human involvement, and everything is automatic and everything is precise. So later, we got feedback from our customers, and they want to utilize this solution to the greenhouses. And as we know that there are many equipments in the greenhouses, so we can generalize our solution. We can receive any data from any sensor, and we have a so-called conditional program that the customers doesn't need to do very complicated programming. They can just they can use the conditional program to create their own functionality through our app or through a web interface. So with this kind of solution, it's very easy for the customers to apply for different scenarios or applications by themselves. So this case is a hydroponic greenhouses. Everything is controlled through our system, including the shade, the water management, the fertilizing, the fertilizing like equipments, lights, fence, everything in this greenhouse are controlled by this system. Similar, this is another example that they also use the precision irrigation based on the solar sensor. So with this solution, everything is pretty much automatic in the greenhouses. This is from a young farmer in Yunlin. So it's easier for him to keep expanding their greenhouses because they don't require more labor to help with their greenhouses. So this is our data-driven solution. We see it as a platform, and then it can really be applied to different applications, not only for the smart irrigation, smart agriculture, but I believe as long as you can find something that you need to control through the help of data, you can utilize this solution pretty easy. And so if you have any questions, you're welcome to contact us directly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tai. Thank you so much. 那么接下来是15分钟的交流茶会时间，休息过后将进行下半场的精彩演讲以及座谈交流。另外，场外也备有茶点，欢迎各位自由取用。We'll now take a 15-minute network tea break. After the break, we will have an afternoon section of exciting speech and panel section. Please enjoy the refreshment. Thank you so much. 即将正式开始，邀请大家尽速就座，谢谢。现场所有的贵宾们，大家午安。我们下半场精彩的演说以及议程即将正式开始，邀请到下半场的主持人为我们进行现场引言。有请经济部水利署水利规划分署张广志分署长。Welcome back. The second session is now beginning. We're delighted to invite the moderator for this session of the forum to give an opening remark. Please welcome the Director Zhang Guangzhi from the Water Resource Planning Branch, WRA.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I was supposed to be the moderator in the first half, but there was a little accident. It was a traffic issue, traffic jam. I left very early, took the metro MRT, but I couldn't get in. It was so crowded. So sorry for the delay, and Professor Huang hosted for me, but I wasn't watching the pro baseball I just want to clarify. So in the afternoon, we have very important talks. We have two. The first one is from Hengjiang, and our very young chairperson, Lai Yinghan, will talk to us about smart water efficiency and precision manufacturing. And let us welcome Mr. Lai for sharing. And Mr. Lai decided to come here because he wanted to deliver his talk in English.
Mr. Richardus, 各位先进，大家好。The floor and the power of water. Thank you to the Water Resources Agency for having me. It's an honor to share the story of Liana, one that began in the garage. From the small beginning, we have grown into an international manufacturer headquartered in Zhanghua, Lugang, a town whose days is set by tides and rain, just like Taipei these 10 days, huh? Today, I want to discuss green products and something even more fundamental, water. The simplest element is also one that makes every other element matters. For Liana, water is guiding idea running through our company and our engineering choices. Water is movement. It adapts and reshapes the world. Our journey mirrors its courses. What began as an ambition has gathered strength into a river of innovation. As you can see on the slide, this is our company recent achievements. There are a lot of details that I will talk about in the later slides. This is me, I'll skip. My name is Alex, very happy, and thank you, Mr. Zhang, for letting me to talk about Liana today. This is from the Taiwan website Green Factory and the water molecule, H2O. This is our Liana company. My dad started 40 years ago. We started as in a garage, very small, very tiny little place. And now we are in Lugang, Liana 3.0. We are expanding. We have a lot more machines, a lot more people as well in the factory. This is our headquarters in Lugang, Zhanghua. There are 5 colors on the building for the appearance. The first floor is our production floor. We use brown color, which means the soil on the earth. The second floor is our office and our engineering, our brand, basically. So we use the green color for green trees, green planets, white clouds in the blue sky, and also a red sun for the energy. We are an IATF certified manufacturer, So we do a lot of automotive customers and aerospace. We are very happy that the Taiwan government recognizes us as one of the green factory in Taiwan. There are about 120 factories that's certified by Taiwan government, and we are one of them, and the only one in Zhanghua, in my hometown. As you can see, we have many products. Some of them are legacy products. For example, the stamping, metal stamping items. We also do cooling fans, power modules, other sensors as well. We make a lot of plastic in-house. We make a lot of welding, assembling in-house. We also have our chopsticks is one of our main product line. It's about 10% of our sales, the chopsticks. Here are the certifications of Liana company. We have ISO 140001. We also have the green gas emission 14064. To get the green factory in Taiwan, there are a lot of details they will look at by the government, and we have to check every box. For example, ecology, energy saving, waste, and healthy ESG items. When we built this company back in 2014, we started as a draft, and after several rounds of modifications, we have a lot of designers and a lot of constructions coming in and help us to get this done in 2020, June 2020. Basically, a lot of constructions, they use gangjin, they use a typical material, and also gangjin hunitu. But in Liana, we use the strongest and highest standard. We put a coating on the gangjin hunitu, so it helps the rust. You can see the before and after, before we build the new headquarters and after it's done. To get the green factory certification, we need to pass a lot of items like I talked about. And Liana, we are the gold level building in Taiwan by the government. Here is the floor, the ground floor of Liana company. 37% of our area is covered by the green plants and flowers. We have a lot of measurements and a lot of formula how to get to pass the green factory criteria. We also implement a lot of LED lights, cooling fans inside the production as well as in the office. So it helps our colleagues to breathe normally, to breathe not too much carbon dioxide. We also use, for the window design, we have a lot of venting. Here is some of the details. This is our garage in the third floor. It's an indoor garage, which holds about 100 spots, 100 vehicles. These pictures are kind of old, but we planted 3 more EV charging stations in here. And right now in my hometown, we do not have a Tesla power, super charging station. And I hope one day Tesla, they can build a super charging station in this parking lot. Some of our colleagues, they drive Tesla, so it's a good infrastructure, and I think it will help our green factory to achieve the next level. Here is our indoor air quality control. We measure how much carbon dioxide and oxygen coming in and out. Here are more certificates from the government. I want to talk about these slides. Like I said, our green factory is based on the natural elements. At the top of our company, we use rain recycle system. It's a closed loop system. We collect the rainfall on the top of our factory, and then we storage it at the basement. So our company, we have about 40 water tanks. Each tank can hold up to 10 tons. So 10 tons times 40 tanks, that's 400 tons of water in our basement. Here is the system, how it works. We collect it from the rainfall from the top, and then we save it at the water tanks. We even purify it to another multiple tanks. And with that 300 tanks of water from the rain, we can reuse it in toilets or even in plants, flowering, just those 37% greening area. So we storage it and then we use it at the sprinkler. Here are the water tanks surrounding our headquarters. In the middle of the headquarters, we cannot have the water tanks because it doesn't hold the heavy machines as well as the solid grounds. So we only use these 40 water tanks around our headquarters. So those areas you can see, the yellow ones, the green ones, the orange ones are office area on the second floor and on the third floor. And this, the center, right in the middle, we have our lifts and our heavy machines right in the middle of our headquarters. We have a lot of stamping machines, we have a lot of injection machines, and those are 3 tons, 5 tons, very heavy machine. Here are some of our recycling by the Green Factory criteria. Some of our labels that do the design. To pass the Green Factory certificate, we also have to get the Green Building label and cleaner production. Cleaner production is another big chunk of the certificates. It's very strict, and there are probably 200 boxes you have to tick, you have to check. So I won't talk about 200 criteria, but I will pick 10 out of the 200 and talk about it in details. So as you can see here are the pictures of government audited in Guyana for the clean production. Here are some of the clean production parts that they look at. 5 big groups, energy management, water, and also the product environmental optimization. The first optimization we did is in the old headquarters, we use manual storage rooms. So it requires a lot of our colleagues to go up and down. And you know, it's sweaty, it's heavy lifting, it's very tiring. Sometimes you even get into an accident, and that's not good. So in the new headquarters in Lugang, we use our 2 robots. Each robot can hold up to 2 tons of the weight. And then we have 840 spaces in there. We storage our raw material, our tooling, our semi-product, our final products into this storage room. The second improvement that we did is for the lighting, the LED. This is a simple transformation of those 860 pipes, but we use all LED lights. This is on the machine for the third improvement. Our machine used to have they don't have a cover, or I should say like a jacket on it. So the heat will spread to the air, and that will need it will increase the temperature in the room. And so after talking with the agency, we put a jacket, we put some coating on the machine. And so we keep the warmth of those machine, the waste, within the machine. And it helps us to reduce the temperature in the factory floor. This is a simple improvement that we buy just a new machine that helps us to save energy. This one is a scanning barcode system that we implemented. We used to have a lot of papers in Guyana. But now we barcode everything, and then we put it in our software, our system, and we save a lot of hours, a lot of paper. This recycle water system is, we are very proud of this improvement that a lot of plastic injection manufacturers, they use water tanks. And when you use water tanks, the water will spread, splash, or even just vanish to the air. We use water tanks like I talked about. So these are 3 out of those 40 water tanks that we use on the machine to cool off the molds, to recycle the water pipes. Every drop, we can save it, and we can even maintain those water level within the ideal range that we want. A customer asked me a question. Hey, Alex, how many times do you recycle each drop of water? And I said, I don't know. I don't have the answer. You tell me. And then he answered. He said, in their company, they recycle each water drop 7 times. 7 times. So I was like, yeah, it's a big company in Taiwan. It's TSMC. So they are the biggest one, and they recycle it 7 times. I don't know how they get the numbers, but they probably do. These are, again, our water tanks that we monitor in Liana, how many water we have in each tank. This is an easier improvement that we reduce the noise. Before the government audited us, we only collect the particles after the dust, after grinding. We do not have a cover or like a small room for it. So before we have this cover, it's 100 the noise, and now it's reduced to 84. Here is another example of purifying particles and oil in the production floor. We use machines to collect the particle PM 2.5, and it reduces a lot of particles in the production floor. Some of our products, we simplify its packaging, the chopsticks. It used to be 1 by 1 individually packed, and now it's in a better form that helps to reduce the water, the paper, sorry. And another, I guess, another good point is that we didn't have enough volume, so we pack it individually, 1 by 1. But now that Liana chopsticks are in Costco, so they want us in 10 sets, 20 sets a package. So this is another highlight of Liana, that we can do chopsticks in a big bulk. This is my favorite improvement out of this 10. We used to have people, our colleagues, working around Liana, and we do 24 hours production because it's injection. It has a lot of material, needs to be dry. The material needs to be injected into the molds, cooling down by water, and then eventually we have to get the ribs out of the plastic. So my favorite is because we run the 24 production in Liana, and a lot of my colleagues, especially in night shifts, they work as a group to places, and they talk and they enjoy their time a lot, not working, and which I respect. You know, sometimes I do it as well. But after improvement, we have this guy. In restaurants, they use it to deliver food, but in Liana, we use it to deliver pedals, sensors, chopsticks, our electronic products. It saves us a lot of moving time, the 8 waste. One of them is the movement. And also it helps us to maintain the efficiency at our production floor. In Liana, we also have a movie theater. We host a lot of ESG activities. For example, 狮子会 or 福人社. So those societies and activities can be done in Liana 2nd floor. We even have students, maybe they are from elementary school, kindergarten kids, to come in and play music events on Saturdays for free, as there is like a show for their graduation. And we host this kind of ESG activities for free. So there have been more than 2,000 people in Liana watching the movie on the weekends. Talking about the clean production assessment, here are some paperwork that how we maintain and do the ESS system. This improvement is also by the government. This one is more professional, done by ITRI. It's a very well-known organization in Taiwan, one of the best. They help us to check each machine. Like I mentioned, we have stamping machines in-house, with injection machines in-house, with CNC machines in-house. This system helps us to measure each machine, the carbon dioxide of each machine, and how much waste, how much electricity it needs every hour. As you can see, night shift and day shift, the numbers are very different. And we do have a very smart app by ITRI that we can even check these screens and this data on your cell phone. Here is our ESG policy that we have CPR, people who are trained, well trained by the CPR tests, and also we have AED in-house. Here's a chart of how our machines going into the machine after grinding, after they do the assembling and trials, they move to the factory. We do PDCA cycles in Liana. We do also have Six Sigma QCC tests. One of our beliefs is that people are more important than machines. So our top management team, we encourage our colleagues to get more educated, higher education, or even just quality AI software qualification. So you can see a lot of our colleagues, they are black belts and green belts by Liana. But besides that, we also have CQT, certificate quality technicians and engineer, and also ERP, PMP certificates. To promote, Liana would give our colleagues who pass the exam $1,000, $2,000 US dollar raise one time if you pass the exam, depending on how difficult the test is. So you can see that the rate is better. Okay. Going back to the green factory and green product, we are very happy that Taiwan government recognized one of them, and we are the gold level clean production green building in Liana. We also have our ESG product as chopsticks, and we have carbon footprint label. This you can get from the official website. A lot of our chopsticks are sold in restaurants, high-end hotels, luxury hotels, and even Michelin star restaurants. We have different, this is very Asian. We have 12 animals that we can laser onto the spoon. I'm sure you guys probably know your animal, but this is one extra little thing that we can do. For the chopsticks, we also have, during COVID time, we make sure your hands don't touch the chopsticks, so you can assemble your chopsticks without your hand touching the tip of your chopsticks. We serve a lot of our clients in Taiwan. They are very good companies, and we love them so much. I want to pause here. This is a promotion time for our chopsticks. Some of the names you probably see before, but JL Studio is a 3-star Michelin in Taichung, and the chef, the big owner of JL Studio, came to Liana and then gave us a little signature and little encouragement, I guess, for our chopsticks, and we are very happy that we are talking with them for other products as well. And one thing that I also want to mention is that our products, this is only 10% of our sales. Our products in sensors, in charge ports, in EV, in aerospace, has 90% of our sales, is more important. And one of our product, very lucky, and we are very thankful, we provided to one of our EV customers in America. And earlier this year, Elon hold our product and approve it. And so we are right now making into the ramp of our EV industrial. It's a very good project, and we are very happy that we are in the EV and we can serve our customers better with our technology. Some of our chopsticks are gold-plated. The price is crazy, but I hope we can make some sales to Costco for the gold chopsticks. That's my dream. One little thing about my dad, the founder of Liana, he's doing a walk of Taiwan right now. He walk around Taiwan. A lot of people bike around Taiwan. That's about 10 days, 5 days. My dad walk around Taiwan. He's also crazy. First time he did it 55 days. Second time 65 days because he took a longer route, ocean route, I guess, around Taiwan. And we have a lot of events. His dream, my dad's dream, is to create an app, and also we call Taiwan 行人的地狱. So it means it's not good to walk around in Taiwan. You have motorcycles, you have cars going crazy around you. So he wants to build a road that's easy for people to walk around. So the app and the Facebook name is Walk Around Taiwan 1000. And there are his ways to get 1 star, 2 star, and 3 stars for the Walk Around Taiwan Facebook group. And we also give certificates for those who did Walk Around Taiwan. These are the events that we did in the last 2 years. We try to get every county. So we tried Taichung, Hsinchu, Tainan, Yunlin, and even Nantou. We plan to go maybe the east of Taiwan, where a lot of great and good sightseeing that you can see. I remember Richard said you went to the Elephant Mountain yesterday. So if you walk around Taiwan, maybe we can give you a certificate. Okay, here's the short-term, long-term chart for Liana that we want to do for smart manufacturing. And also for our carbon neutral plan 2050. A lot of plan, big plan, but I think we are very thankful for this kind of events that bring us together and help us to understand and learn from each other how to reduce the carbon footprint. Here's my dad's picture and his little thing. But as I close, I'm reminded that water connects us, industrial and community, today's needs and tomorrow's responsibilities. Liana's mission is not simply to introduce green products, it is to hope, to prove that provision can stain with purity, and we can grow together. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ying-Han. Taiwan #1 chopstick. What a great young man. So our next speaker is on the topic of JW Eco Technology, the general manager, Mr. Lai Ruicheng. I believe that he can have a good dialogue with it's good for Richard. For Sponge City in Lithuania, I think would be very helpful. So let's welcome Mr. Lai. Director Zhang, Professor Huang, and distinguished guests from Lithuania, the organizers, distinguished guests, good afternoon. I would like to talk to you about JWE co-technology. And today I'm going to talk to you about JWE Co-Sponge City. This is a technology that adapts to climate change and deal with problems such as too much water, too little water, and water is too dirty. All these can be solved using this technology. My talk today is going to cover the following, starting with common disasters caused by traditional construction. For example, traditional paving and asphalt often fall off after a storm. So you see problems like this. JWE co-technology is different because it's a structure. It's linked all together, and one road, it acts as one single pavement. These are some of the problems caused by traditional construction, and it is no longer sufficient for disaster caused by extreme climate and actually accelerate environmental destruction and make drought and storm the nightmares of the urban dwellers. This was on October 20th. In Wugu of New Taipei City, there were severe floods all over. And in September, there were even greater floods. This is Furen University in New Taipei City. Whenever there's a typhoon or storm, it becomes like a water park. So this is a campus water park, as we jokingly call it. And this one, we call it, the staircase in Danjiang becomes a water slide. And also at Zhengzhi University, the campus become a river. So these are some of the phenomena we see in Taiwan's campuses. So now let me introduce the JWE co-technology briefly. Here we can see the paving, the road pavement, and as well it can be applied to river shores, to roofs, and also works together with PV panels. This is how it's manufactured. Waste plastic is an environmental killer. It does not decompose. So we combine the waste plastic together with cement, and cement has the function of protecting the plastic. And we reprocess the plastic and combine it with cement. And these two become an integral structure. So at the base layer, originally, we start with the soil layer, and then we build up with eco balls and other installations such as eco layer. And then over here, we can also have water storage tanks here. So this is an underground water tanks. And here, when we have water coming through here as well as air, so it's a pervious layer. And we can have big or small air spaces, and the structure up here can form different shapes. And this is based on Bernoulli principle. And it's just kind of like a Lego tiles, Lego blocks with different shapes and patterns. So this is what I just introduced. From the bottom, we have soil, the water storage layer, retention layer, and then we can have different variations over here. So I won't go into the traditional structure in the interest of time. Over here, JW Eco paving compared with other methods like regular pervious blocks or grassy blocks or asphalt. In the JW pervious paving, we can have structural strength, and actually we use it at even container ports, and it goes up to 510 kilogram per centimeter square of compressive strength. And it has a life cycle of 50 years and a guarantee of 10 years. And with a lot of our projects, other projects, usually they have only a guarantee of 2 to 3 years. And this can be complemented by different construction materials such as granite or aggregate surfaces. It can store water like an underground tank. So with the gravel layer, if we don't install a water tank, and when the water comes here, then it's connected to the paving, so it kind of acts like one giant sponge. There is no runoff. Usually, when we drive in a rainy day, there's flooding on the road surface. However, using JW Eco paving, there is not a single drop or puddle on the road, so making it safer to drive. In the green building label, it complies with 8 labels, and it has a permeability of 6 times regular pervious blocks. And this helps regulate the air because it helps cools the air with its air spaces. This way, it can capture CO2, SO2, etc. So this is what it looks like underground. It looks like one great connected sponge or water basin. These are JW load-bearing underground rainwater collection system. It is the only one of its kind in the world. And in the middle, we have a post and beam system. In a regular system using PV, it's not load-bearing. However, with our system, we are able to design it as post and beam and load-bearing, so we can reach really deep into the underground. JW Eco system also helps the city breathe. So it's a kind of like a passive air conditioning system, breathing in the air, and which becomes a nutrient for the plants. But the air that it releases is cooled down, mitigating heat island effect. For example, in Taipei City, using JW Eco technology, every 1 degree lowered using this technology is equivalent of a lot of carbon emission. So it can become like a groundwater bank, or it can be complemented by load-bearing PV panels. So that means you could actually have cars go above the PV panels. So during a meeting, you can park your cars here, and at the end of the meeting, your EVs are already charged. It's highly pervious, and the water stored underground can be pumped out for domestic use. Of course, in a case of a disaster or emergency, this water can also be filtered to help save lives. And the quality of the water is cleaned up significantly, and the oxygen level is very robust. This is at a high school in Mado where we did a test. In the gutter water started with a lot of BOD, with a lot of NH3N, And here are some of the numbers. The organic carbon, the NH3s and the Ns and the BOD. And after a few years, the water extracted is much cleaner with an oxygen level of almost 7.7, which is almost potable water. JW Eco technology also helps reduce fluctuation in temperature. This is in Xizhi in Taipei. After paving this road, compared to the asphalt road next to it, we tested the temperature, and in the summer, at the height, the asphalt road can reach 70-some degrees, but this one was 63 degrees. So, and on that day, it was 41.8 degrees. So it's a difference of 20 degrees Celsius versus a traditional asphalt road. And every 10 centimeter or so, there are gaps, and these air pockets are breathing every day. And up above here is the Olympic Park in Beijing, in a very cold below zero temperature, because it helps absorb air. And because the ground is kept at constant temperature, so actually it breathes out warm air and helps melt the snow. So this reduces the salt required to remove the snow from the road surfaces. It also has the benefit of carbon capturing. We have a test of within 20 minutes, 40 to 76% of pollutants and carbon dioxide and carbon chloride can be captured. This is the Taipei port, which is the container port there. They may have up to container trucks of 100 and up to 1,000 tons of trucks, and some cranes. And even 10 years later, you don't see a single crack in the surface. And actually, next to it is a road paved using different system, and they have repaired it several times already. So in doing so, we can cut down on reduction on carbon emission. When dirty air enters this structure, it becomes nutrient for microorganisms. So we made a paving project for a school. After it was completed, they told us actually they do get earthworms in the structure. And 1 year later, the earthworms actually came out of the paving, and they were able to survive underground under this system. There are many different types of earthworms, and with some of them, they just need a little bit of organic material, and then they can survive. There doesn't need to be soil necessarily. I think I've gone through most of this. And using JW Eco technology, we can use apply it in a planting system. So above the concrete inside the city, we can also grow vegetables and plants here. And you could actually do it wearing your city shoes without getting them dirty. And because the water and air can come in and out freely, and the mosquitoes cannot lay eggs inside this structure. So in Mado, in southern Taiwan, at the high school, they didn't have any dengue outbreak. Whereas before the paving was installed, they had frequent dengue issues. I talked about this. So the system, we have reinforced slope, sponge road, green wall, roof garden, eco farm, and desert oasis. So with the desert oasis, we can actually produce water because of hot and cold air exchange. There is some moisture that is absorbed through the Bernoulli's effect, and then it condenses into water drops. So in the desert, you can actually help produce water, but it would have different structure. At the bottom, there would be a waterproofing layer, and then using pipes, we channel the water into water storage tanks for reuse. It can also be used as eco docks, eco rivers, etc. For the eco river bank, the structure is slightly different in the pipe work. It has a tri-prong design, and then it can be installed into the river channel with spaces large and small, so fish can actually lay a roll there. And also, it's friendly to shellfish and shrimps. So this is JW Eco Park. The JW Eco technology has also won a lot of certification, green label, excellent technology, low carbon certification. Using JW ecosystem as a pervious paving, every square meter results in a carbon reduction of 189.9 kilogram. And also here, for every 1 ton of water stored helps cut carbon by 0.156 kilogram, and every kilowatt hour of electricity stored also helps reduce carbon. Here are the international awards granted in globally in terms of road paving, energy in the UK Rushlight, the International Awards for Livable Communities, the Green Apple Environment Award, Green World Awards last year, and the ADB Innovation Award this year. We were also received honors from Pittsburgh, U.S., and Nuremberg, Germany, Switzerland Innovation Award, etc. Here are some cases to share with you. This is with DuPont, Taiwan. And the carbon reduction achieved was 189 tons. Carbon reduction of shown here, and we have some water tanks installed here. This is a well-known electronic PV factory in Taichung, and the total carbon reduction achieved is listed here, 200 and 405 tons of kilogram of carbon dioxide. This is at the Catholic Furen University in Taipei and their campus. Looking back at the electronics factory, this was done 10 years ago, and then to the right is a new factory. There are 5 to 6 new factories that are using this JW Eco technology. Now, coming back to Furen University, as I said, sometimes you can even go rafting in the campus after a storm. And here is a place where there used to be a lot of flooding after a rainstorm. And then to the right, after installation of JW, we move the spaces underground. So it used to be a mosquito-infested campus that is totally flooded in a rainstorm, but we've turned it into this beautiful place to the right. This is another example in the Winshan district of Taipei City. In this residential community, the swimming pool was left idle and became a mosquito breeding ground. So we did this paving and made it into a very shallow eco water or river system so that the water is free-flowing and kids can play in it. It's only foot high, only the height of the foot depth, and then also we have planting around it to make it a more friendly space. We also have a grassy system. So we don't need to use any coating that is not very environmentally friendly. In the middle is a electronics factory, and to the right is an example of a paving in large sheets. And then we can have these spaces, these gaps, and it's optional, and the sizes can vary, and we can have different design and colors. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you very much. Just a brief introduction of our technology. I had a small video of a few minutes to share with you, but I had some trouble with it. So that concludes my talk. Thank you.
So much. Please be seated. 我们可以先行就座了。那么接下来在开始综合讨论之前，我们将来收集大家的提问哦。也邀请现场所有的贵宾朋友们可以扫描荧幕画面上的 QR code， 就这一次的议题表达您的看法或者是疑问。Before the panel discussion, we invite everyone to scan the QR code on the screen to submit your question regarding water innovation, technology, and industry presentation. 接下来将进行专家论坛。那么在介绍我们今天的主持人以及与会贵宾之前，要提醒一下我们所有的讲者以及主持人，请将您的翻译机带上台作为备用。All speakers, please bring your translator device up to the stage as backup. Thank you so much. 接下来将进行专家论坛，今天的主题是水利创新科技及产业发展。很荣幸，首先邀请到我们今天的 moderator， 今天的主持人，经济部水利署水利规划分署张广智分署长。Wait a minute. 以及台湾水务产业发展协会黄志斌理事长来担任这一次座谈的主持人。接下来也要来邀请到今天与会的5位座谈人，分别为这一次立陶宛水文气象局 Mr. Valencheska， 以及 Google 代表 Miss Crandall。应永科技蔡明哲执行长，亨家精密工业股份有限公司赖应涵董事长，最后邀请到的是奇祥工程陈瑞成总经理。再一次的有请。那么同步也提醒大家，可以持续扫描我们荧幕画面上的 QR code 来进行线上提问。待会的问题将由主持人挑选后进行讨论。Next, we'll move on to the panel section, and maybe we invite today's moderator and speakers to come up to the stage. We now invite all 6 speakers to the stage. Please give a warm round of applause to them. Please continue to scan the QR code on the screen to submit your question and panel section. And question will be selected by the moderator for response. 接下来我们要将主持棒交给今天的主持人，有请张分署长 ，please。
好，谢谢。好，那今天非常。
Yeah, it's a great privilege to be moderator of this panel discussion and co-chaired by Mr. Huang, President of Taiwan Water Affairs Organization. Mr. Huang, you go first. Thank you, Director General Zhang.
Speaker, manager their speaking time very well, so we have enough time for discussion. First, I'd like to raise a question to the Richard. In your presentation, you talk many information about some kind of weather information data to the climate change. You use many measures. I noticed most of them we call the nature-based solution approach. Do you have any plan to use AI or kind of data, or call it IoT, to predict this kind of climate change? Does it mean, or you combine the AI or smart system with the nature-based approach? Do you have any plan in the future? First, thank you.
Yes, thank you for the question. So actually I would start about a need to exploit existing tools. I don't know about your region, but in Europe we have a very tight cooperation between hydrological and meteorological organizations. And in respect to flooding, we have like the whole European system for forecasting and alerting about upcoming flooding. And of course, it's an advanced system using the satellite data, meteorological, hydrological models, historic data, and in this case, the forecasts are made for up to 10 days in advance. So in our case, again, Lithuania is a small country. We have limited resources. So first of all, we are trying to use all of the good available tools. But of course, we have some specific national needs in our country. So I would say we have a lot of data, as every hydrological agency does. But of course, the thing is how to use it in predicting the future, and of course warning the society and institutions responsible for helping in case of emergency. So we are actually, I would say honestly, in the beginning of exploiting AI in using all of the data we are collecting through our infrastructure. We are trying to develop systems to monitor and to forecast potential flooding in our main rivers and also this Coronian lagoon, as I mentioned in my presentation. So we are working closely with research institutions in order to have some tangible results and usable results, which could really help us to deliver our services to the society. And of course, if I speak more broadly about climate projections, so I also mentioned we had those prepared up to 2100 years, and of course we have several projections, and this is both meteorological and hydrological projections which help us to understand the current situation and to make the right choices by preparing for the future.
Okay. Do you hear about our just happened a sudden disaster in Hualien? No, the Yansaihu landslide disaster. Do you have any suggestion for responding to such a sudden disaster?
Of course, you are better aware about all of the situation, what happened there, but of course it's a big bad situation that happened, unfortunately. From my point of view, I would focus more on the preventive action, how to avoid such disasters in the future, and I would highlight 3 key areas. First of all, to be ability to forecast such disasters and the magnitude of such disasters. Second thing is cooperation between forecasting institution and other institutions which are involved in managing the situation, fire brigades and other agencies. And lastly, also importantly crucial, is the awareness of the people that would be affected by the upcoming disaster. And yeah, it's really important. So briefly about every of these aspects. So about forecasting, so you know better how to do that, how to develop the system, so I will not go into details. I believe you do a fantastic job, but unfortunately not always you're able to predict quite precisely what's going to happen. Second, with the cooperation, so actually we have also challenges within Lithuania of communicating with different authorities. For example, in Lithuania last year we had like 2 examples in the summer about upcoming storms. So we forecasted that one heavy storm is coming and will hit our country. The storm came, but it actually went close to Lithuania, only 20 kilometers from Lithuania, and hit another country. So the perception in society was, well, the forecasters got it wrong, and some small jokes started to appear. And then a month later, we forecasted another storm coming, and the situation was that so my organization, we provide the forecasts, but providing alerts to the society is a responsibility of another agency, and people inside this organization, well, they were hesitant to spread the message about the upcoming storm, partly because of the previous month, the situation that the storm never came. So the alert, well, it was spread out, but actually a bit late. And people were not all prepared, and actually we had 1 casualty, and it just, again, emphasizes the importance of communication between the authorities, you know, that they understand that it's really what's going to happen, and how to react with that. And finally, awareness of the society, and this has a lot of different aspects within that. I think it firstly starts with the trust of the society towards the agency which is providing the forecast. So if people believe that this is a really like a professional scientific forecast, so and they will trust the forecast, it will probably change their behavior. And also the communication, timely communication, also the urgency to act, to be prepared. So I believe that some of these things were actually not in place when the disaster happened last month here in Taiwan. So yeah, communication and trust from the society is ongoing process. Yes. And I think all of the countries around the world deal with the same challenges.
Yes. Thank you. I just remember everyone, if you have any other questions, I want to ask Richard or other speaker, remember to write down your question and send to the website. Okay. And next, I would like to ask the Anne from Google. I'm surprised you have 2 sites in implementation the water through water program. Okay, one in Hsinchu and another one in Changhua, and all become the the full scale, full implementation. So how does Google evaluate the long-term hydraulical and ecological benefit of its water replenishment project? How to evaluate the benefit? And the second, what step does Google take to ensure this replacement effort contribute to the sustainability of local water resources? Please.
Yes, thank you for the question. So when we invest in water stewardship or water replenishment projects with our implementing partners, we do so through a sponsorship agreement. And that sponsorship agreement is a contract that lays out the project itself and the volumetric benefits that we would see through the implementation of the project. The sponsorship agreement also includes a reporting schedule. And that reporting schedule includes like an implementation reports and monitoring reports. The implementation report it depends on the type of project, but using, say, the GCOP as an example, we would ask for a quarterly report during the construction of the project so that we can understand, what's the progress of the implementation, like is it on schedule, were any changes being made in the field, that sort of thing. So we know that the project is moving forward and that it's being implemented as we had described in the sponsorship agreement. The other part of our reporting schedule will include a monitoring schedule, and that'll last, and it depends on the project, about 10 years after full construction of the project. And again, using the GCOP as an example, we ask for the monitoring to include metrics that would validate the volumetric benefit. So in the case of the GCOP, it would be flow metering data, so we know how much volume has gone through the treatment. Water quality sampling at the inlet and the outlet, so we know that the GCOP is treating it to the standards that we had set out in the original sponsorship agreement. So those are some ways in which we sort of monitor and make sure that the projects are being implemented, and it continues to be operated effectively. And this ongoing monitoring serves two purposes. One, to ensure the longevity and the sustainability of the project, because what we don't want to do is, contribute our investment and then just say, okay, good luck, goodbye. We want to make sure that these projects have long-lasting benefits for the community. The second purpose is for our annual reporting for Google. I think I showed in my presentation a graph that showed the percentage of replenishment against our consumption for that year. We are required to provide that annual reporting through our annual environmental reports. We have a duty to our customers and our stakeholders to demonstrate that we have met the commitments that we have made to water stewardship. And so that's how we've gone about to ensure that we are maintaining the projects.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Zhang, 老师。
其实今天每位讲者
Actually, today all the talks are very inspiring, and I would like to begin by we begin with the questions from the floor, and one of them is for Gwendo. First, on Google and your project in Zhanghua, your irrigation water saving target, what is it? How do we ensure that farmers can accept this project and together implement the drip irrigation? And the next one is, in your presentation, you talked about the replenishing project. So how do you assess the replenishing project? You showed a two-stage evaluation. How do you select the priority? And also someone is asking about the WRA in Taiwan, having set a lot of flood sensors, and all the data are real-time and open. Does Google have any plan or intention to combine it with Google Map? This way we can have add value to Google Map and prevent road flooding in advance. And the road users can avoid the flooding roads. Yeah. And also in Gwendo, in your presentation, we see like in 2024, globally, the water use is about 7.8 billion gallons, which is about 3 30 million ton, but the year before that was 6.1 billion. So within 1 year, you have a increase of 10 billion gallon. So AI is the AI balloon is just beginning to balloon, and is is Google considering this? Every prompt that people use is equivalent to 5 drips of water. Everyone uses a lot. And just like with our iPhone, our iPhones, actually other phones also, they are getting smarter and everyone is issuing more and more prompts. So in addition to the water we actually drink, my phone is actually drinking more water than I am. What is Google doing in terms of future strategy? Gwendo, please.
I'm going to try to go in order that I heard them. So first off with the NDRIP question about how we get the farmers to implement these drip irrigation as opposed to flood irrigation, we do offer and we incentivize them monetarily to accept these new irrigation systems. And we've done that with the 2 pilot projects as a proof of concept to other farmers in the region. We've talked with farmers associations so that they have a network and can explain what these drip irrigation systems are meant to do. And so we do incentivize them to implement these new drip irrigation systems. So that was the first question. With regard to the prioritizing projects, how do we evaluate it? So I just want to level set here that 2-stage evaluation is actually having to do with water risk and not having to do with water replenishment. Those are 2 separate pillars. So the first pillar is of being responsible water users, and that is how we, or this is the reason why we developed our water risk framework, is to evaluate the watershed and its health, and to determine if the watershed is healthy enough to support our water demands in the region. And so that's what that evaluation is meant for, it's the sort of our go, no-go decision on using water for fresh water for evaporative cooling. Now, how we go about prioritizing or evaluating projects for replenishment, we do have metrics that we use to evaluate it. It has to do with, obviously the cost, comes into it, like how much, will it cost, the capital cost in addition to OpEx, operational, maintenance and operations. And then we also look at the volumetric benefit. We follow a methodology known as the volumetric water benefit accounting. And it's produced by the World Resources Institute. And then right now it's going through they just released VWBA 2.0, so you can look that up. But it is a methodology that it's widely used in the industry to evaluate and calculate the amount of volumes based on the type of project and what it's doing, any interventions that are occurring in the watersheds. That's how we calculate it. So we'll evaluate it based on cost and the volume metrics. We'll also look at the partners, the stakeholders. Do they have a history of implementing similar projects in this region successfully? We'll look at does it address a relevant water-related challenge? Because I think I mentioned earlier, we don't want to be implementing projects that don't have any relevance to the area. Like if the area has plenty of water, but they do have a water quality issue, we don't want to be doing things like saving water because that's not relevant. We want to be doing projects that help. We also look at other co-benefits. I mentioned for the GCOP, the carbon emissions reduction and increased food production. We'll look at these other co-benefits to the projects that aren't just water related. So there's a myriad of other things, and we look at all these different benchmarks and then come up with an overall, kind of score before we decide, okay, this is a good project that we want to invest in. And we look at different types of projects between, agriculture, like the NDRIP project, we look at infrastructure, like the one with TWC, and then nature-based solutions like the GCOP, because we want to approach it from a portfolio standpoint where we have different types of projects, and we've covered many different types. Then the other question was flood. I believe we do have we have partnered with, I want to say, the WRI for flood watch, but I would have to follow up with you to get the exact link. But I do think that Google has partnered with somebody to share our technologies. That's part of that third pillar, sharing our technologies to inform water security, including flood watch. So I do believe that exists. And lastly, the question of the ballooning consumption. Yes, we recognize that is a concern. That is part of the third pillar that I didn't touch on as much because it's not within my programs that I manage, but we do have separate teams within Google working on more water efficient technologies on site. The projects that I look at for replenishment are typically done off site, but we do have teams that are looking into and developing more water efficient cooling technologies and other technologies to reduce our demands. I think I covered everything.
好，接下来是那个义永科技。
Now we shall address a question to Mr. Tsai of the AI technology. So around the world, we have a severe shortage of water. So your system seems to be able to improve this productivity of farms. So how would you convince more farmers to use this kind of water saving system, and how should government help? Thank you for the question. So the first question you ask, because in your presentation you talk about a number of farms, hillside teas and farm and so on. I think Israel is famous for the drip irrigation system. I believe in the beginning they were focusing on everyday produce such as tomatoes. So they started with a tomato farm using drip irrigation method. I think that kind of scenario is different from Taiwan, because in Taiwan, the type of products, we rotate, we change the plant based on the different time of the year. And very often, they want to be competitive in price on the market. So they would want to do some artificial changes. For example, they are not supposed to plant something in the winter, but they want to plant this non-seasonal produce in order to get a good price on the market. And so the ideology, the philosophy is somewhat different from the drip irrigation system in Israel. But we, as a technology provider, and we serve end customer, the farmers, but we actually need someone in the middle, that is service providers. In Taiwan, we have a small number of service providers. And so I think it's important to establish the ecosystem. That is, we have technology provider, the service agent, and then the end user, farmers. And also in Taiwan, the farmer is heavily subsidized by the government. So that would involve how to use the government resources more effectively, more efficiently down to the farmers level. Because the end customer, the farmers, are what we government serve. But for us, we are developers. If without support, we won't be able to have a locally developed technology for this. And then the farmers will need to import relevant technologies to help the farmer. So I think primarily the government could do better in developing the service agent so that the technology could be wider applied, utilized. Oh, and Diana, you talk about how you build your production site using the ESG philosophy and starting from your father. Your father was actually very far-sighted, had good vision, so he was able to lay the role as the pioneers of ESG building, factory buildings in Taiwan. And I understand you use some kind of raft-based water containers in your basement, and then every drip of water, you reuse it a few times. At least that's what TSMC says. But in your company, in your factory, and you use this raft-based water containers to do it, to store rainwater. I wonder why you have come up with this idea, because the Lugang also get a lot of rainwaters in the last week's rainstorm. Thank you for the question. I am from Layana. I am this administration vice president. I also was involved in the construction of the factory, so I'm here on behalf of our chairman of the board to answer your question. In our company, we apply this water tanks in the basement, and that was the idea from the founder, that is Mr. Tsai's father. And in Taiwan, we are surrounded by oceans, so we have lots of water. And in early days, we invested in the land in the Lugang Industrial Park. If you know about Taiwan, the history, you would have known that the Lugang used to be a port. And so for us to obtain a land in this industrial park, and we want to establish a factory, a business that would last for a century. So there, we face a lot of challenges. And back then, when we were designing this architecture of the new factory, we found a new architect who was the first one in Taiwan to make this kind of design, a raft-based water tank in this sand soil. So at that time, people mostly recommended for business consideration, you should have a parking space in the basement rather than on the third floor. But our founder still felt that we build a factory, we build a production plant. We want to put high priority on people's safety, on environment. So we did a huge raft-based basis. So it's like a boat, an ark in this land, so that it would not be destroyed or impacted by some environmental events. And we also did a lot of water resource related management control, and that's why our factory got lots of certification about green factory. And my next question is to JW Work.
对 JW 工法做了。
With your JW Eco technology, you have lots of different applications. In Taiwan, we have extreme rainfall and with it, great impact. To implement JW technology, in addition to schools, we also saw some factories. Are there other places where you can have cases? You have user cases? Yes, factories, schools, we have a lot of applications there. And with factories, there are some that are still refinery, some are high-tech, some are PV panel. And there is also a dye workshop that does this. So with rainwater is collected, filtered, and filtered for a second time and then reused. This is for the gray water. Gray water is recycled and reused, and then reducing the pollutants in the process. So JW Eco technology is a disaster preventing technology that can adapt to climate change. For the riverbank, we are still in experimental stage. For example, for the Mataian River, which was involved in this barrier lake disaster, using JW ecology at the bottom, the water is free flowing. So for the barrier to collapse, it's due to excessive pressure or water level. So if we use the JW technology to connect the bottom layers, so at the far end, the water can be connected in the lower layers and then come up. So this is similar to a desert application or in groundwater system. So we can have the groundwater surface from one end to another to reduce the water pressure in the process. When the typhoons arrive, roughly around August in Taiwan, the water levels are usually at 30 million ton. And then on September 22nd, it was up to 90 million ton already this year. And it's a very dense collection of sediment. So we need to look at how much sediment there is, and using AI measurement, we can measure how much sludge is accumulated. So whether or not JW Eco technology applies, so it also depends on the rainfall, the topography, the water quantity, water level. We can decide what is the optimal place to install this, and also we can do it in the downstream. Thank you. We can hear more about it later on in the interest of time. Last question for Richard. In your presentation, I was quite impressed because you talked about a very wonderful survey where over 90% of people who are highly aware of climate change. So my question is as follows. First, in Lithuania, you have extreme climate, extreme heat and floods. For your government investment in infrastructure, how much support is there in the general public? And second, over 50% of the public are willing to change their daily lives. Does that mean installing air conditioning, or what kind of change are they interested in to deal with the heat? And finally, AI application. Any further thoughts on AI application? Richard, please.
The society really is supportive of the measures the government is taking. Of course, I focus more on the climate adaptation, but there's also even bigger part of climate mitigation on how to reduce the CO2 emissions. But the general perception in society is that the government is doing the right things. Of course, the investment and the resources that could be directed at this could be higher, but of course there are a lot of different priorities, and it's hard sometimes to choose which one should get the most or at least more attention. So, but the general support and general acceptance by the society is there, and of course the private businesses, private companies as well see it as a must in their strategies and their policies. So yeah, it's quite a cohesive, I would say, system in Lithuania, both from the public and private sector. In respect to adaptation measures, so yes, there are a lot of different things people can do at their house, in their living. Actually, for example, I live in a, let's say, big story apartment house, and normally neither me nor my neighbors needed the air conditioning system because it was, you know, like summers were okay. But a few years ago, we had started to have like really difficult and hot summers, hot days, you know, that you cannot even sleep without proper conditioning. So, well, starting with like proper infrastructure, I mean, in this case, in heating, in heat case, you know, just the right tools, the right equipment at your house, you know how to deal with these kind of situations. So a lot of different things that could be done and actually are being done, you know, but typically, you know, people don't do preventive measures, but normally they just react to the consequences, or when they already feel that, well, it's not good for me, and then that's when they decide to change their behavior, or in instances in different things. So mostly, you know, the awareness is there, but unless it touches you directly, normally people, I would say, they don't take preventive action to avoid like negative effects of the climate change. And yeah, the final question was about AI. Yeah, so you mean in the our daily job? In water management. Yeah, so as I mentioned, so for us, at least in Lithuania, it's early days, but also, you know, I can share that also broader in our region, in Europe, other water organizations also not struggle, but they are also like taking first steps, you know, for having like really robust forecast and systems in place. So actually admire what you have in Taiwan here. So you have a lot of good things that we could borrow, but in Europe, yeah, I would say we are lagging a bit. And but yeah, starting with small steps, you know, at least with the equipment, devices, you know, that let's say cameras that can also use AI algorithms to recognize, you know, certain phenomenon and so on. So we are also investing in that, and by starting by this, of course, then you are going to the more complex things like simulations and models. So we are going there. We are getting there, but we still would need time to catch you guys here in Taiwan.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. I think we are almost running out of time. Before we close this section, I think I need to read officially conclusion. Okay, from Lithuania's climate adaptation experiments to the global practice application of AI and cloud data and the innovation practice of across Taiwan industry and academia, all point to a common direction. In the face of climate change, technology is not a tool, but the foundation of resilience. So, I think, finally, let's insist the spirit of AI-guided synergy and the smart coexistence, and from Taiwan create a new paradigm of intelligence and the sustainable water management for the future. I think once again, thank you all the speakers and the guests for your valuable contribution and active participation. Thank you. We are final. Okay.
好的，我们再一次的掌声，谢谢。那么在今天的活动结束之前，要邀请我们现场所有的 moderator 跟我们的 speakers， 我们可以来进行一张大合照。Before the end of the forum, may I have all the speakers and moderator having a group photo? 我们有请我们现场所有的长官，我们稍微往前一步好吗？往前一点点。看一下这个画面。好，我们看一下正中间的镜头。Please look at the camera. Big smile and heart gesture. Is that okay? 给我一个小爱心可以吗 ？Heart gesture. Is that okay? Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. 好的，我们再一次谢谢。那么再一次有请各位贵宾留步，因为我们今天呢也为了大家的莅临，要特别感谢今天主办单位金碧柱水利署特别准备了纪念品，要致赠给今天的讲者。好，接下来呢有请我们的长官来协助致赠。好的，再一次感谢。We'd like to show our appreciation for joining us. Thank you so much for your participation. 一样在现场也再一次的感谢我们现场的主持人，还有所有的讲者。那么今天上半场的议程到这边告一个小小的段落了。那也希望今天的所有议程，大家聆听内容有获得分享，以及满满的收获。谢谢。好，我们再一次感谢所有的主持人以及所有的讲者 ，Thank you so much, Thank you。那么再一次感谢现场所有贵宾的与会，2025台湾国际水论坛水利创新科技以及产业发表圆满落幕。会后大家可以互相交流，也为水利科技创新出谋划策。感谢大家的参与，我们下次再见。Thank you all for attending this forum. We invite everyone to take this opportunity to network and exchange ideas to further advance the water industry. Once again, see you next time. Thank you.